everybody, welcome back. So for some reason, you all wanted the penguins. So let's take a little slow motion here of the penguins unveiling. Are you guys ready? No, you guys aren't ready. Ah shit, I think I already saw it. There it is, the penguins. We got Captain Rick and Huzzah Sophie Jackson as well. Yes, first hype. Where the penguins better not be a hoax. Alright, there you go. There's some birds chirping outside where I am at. If 10 out of 10 for slow motion. Yeah. Let me do something real quick. Let me make sure it's running in the proper mode. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're in the Flight Factor A320, a whole different animal. I headed over from Denver holy shit. Denver over to Salt Lake. Now this is the newly updated Denver, the new update. It has a little bit better as far as like texturing goes. Is how it looks inside the terminal. You know, it's a later standard thing, I guess. Then you have this part of the terminal. Ghost Rider 115 is here as well. Welcome aboard, dude. How are you? I'm doing fine. How about you, dude? Hope you're doing well. We've got about 40 FPS right now. It could use some improvements. It's still not like, you know, perfect by all means, but it's a pretty good representation of Denver. They still need some like FPS cleanup because a lot of the like, ground things and whatnot are a little bit meh. But anywho, hey boys, all good. Just in background playing F1, nice. Samuel White is here as well. Welcome aboard, Samuel. Glad you could join us today. So, with that being said, let's hop into the cockpit here. Let's get a ground power unit, and let's head up top here. And let's actually let me do something. Let's decrease the lighting because I feel like whenever we get it up, the lights are just like blasting us in the face. With just a lot of yeah. How's life treating you? Pretty well, I guess. Pretty good. Get the batteries on. Extra power on. Get these guys on. And like that. Let's come up top. Align the IRSs. That's good for now. Actually, let's come over here and yeah, that's cool. Go like that. Okay, that's good. Now over here you can actually see the exterior refuel. If you can see that, you can actually refuel from here, which is something that even there you go. Something even the TOLUS doesn't have, which is the reading light actually works as well. So pretty cool. We're gonna talk about the TOLUS new update and pricing, which I think is quite ridiculous, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that for sure. Let's first get our altimeter here, which is 3001. All right. What time is it for you? It's about 2:30 p.m. for me. If you don't know me, I'm N to the B. Wait till they charge $20 for the Neo. I wouldn't be surprised. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, Denver to Salt Lake City. I think TOLUS is straying further and further away from what they originally wanted to be as a company. And the TOLUS we're seeing now is not the TOLUS that we wanted. So that's my thoughts on it. I wonder what the Magnet team have been up to. Meme night, yeah. Nick's got that one. It is pretty much a meme night. Flight number, we're Frontier 571. Departures is going to be runway 25. Zimmer 1. Zimmer 1 and Changi. So from Changi, we're gonna go on our arrival. Runway 34 left. Leahy 5 and Eker. Leahy 5. Eker. And let's clear that discontinuity. There's vectors in. Alright, and then our alternate flight plan is direct to TCH. God damn it. Alright, I'll wait till the iris is aligned for that, which is about 4 minutes. So we'll wait for that. We're gonna take it straight up to our cruising altitude, which is 360 today. 360. Let's see. Let's grab the fuel here. Let's go fuel truck coming up. And block fuel we want is 5553. 5553. And set. And remove. And we'll go gate call. Call the loaders as well. What have Tolas done? No major systems either, yeah. Price of the A320 has gone up $10 I think because of the new update. A320 is $79. Basically the i8 sounds in a few F-Mod sounds, but no one used that. So yeah. We're gonna talk about this once we get in the air. Everyone has BSS now, yeah. That's another huge factor that I think it's extremely naive to ignore the fact that their BSS exists. It's stupid to just, disregard them. Which is what Tolas is pretty much doing right now. At least I feel that's what they're doing. So, zero fuel weight is 62.2. We have 46. Okay, so 62.2, and we have 46.382. Actually, it's gonna change once we get the passengers loaded up here. Let's go 101 passengers, and then as far as this goes, 62.2, right? 62.2 and 57.50. So 11.45.0. So 11.450. That's pretty much the highest we're gonna have to go. Let's remove these guys. That's a heavy trim. That's a heavy trim. Yeah. Almost meeting the what's the, hold on. A320 maximum takeoff weight is here we go. A320 maximum takeoff weight is 68. Okay, so we're good. We fit in with the restrictions. We're fine. We're just under, about 2,000 kilos under the gross weight. Okay. Let's start the APU master. Seatbelt sign on as well. I gotta get the 3070, so the A346 will be 89. Yeah, but I feel like the A346 is a different story just because they're actually gonna be better on release with proper modeling and whatnot. Not buying the A340, I'm gonna steal yours, but then it'll probably be a little late because MFS liners, you wish. Just wait till we go to bed. Alright, RS alignment in 1 minute. Still waiting for that frequency because I'm not too sure. I don't. Alright, let's see. Flap open. There you go. Let's start up that APU then. I need to set the color accuracy for my monitor. Then I'll kidnap you. Oh god. Should get it any second. Iris is aligning up, so should see it now. Now the arrival should be pretty standard. Let's see. The flag Manual to Dunlap. Alright, so let's actually take the vectors out of Dunlap, and then it goes direct to Dunlap in, and then out. Okay. Should be here. People have been creaming over these 30 series, yeah. Yeah, man, that's like the new hot talk or whatever. TCH, come on. Yeah, irises are aligned, cool. Obviously we're gonna take that one. And then we're gonna go V32 to Cooley. So Airways V32 to Cooley. Then from Cooley we're gonna go arrival 23. So ILS 23, and let's insert that in. There we go. Cool, let's go secondary flight plan. In it's Denver to Denver. Winds are looking at variable at 3, so we'll just take the longest runway here, which is runway 16 appears to be. Yeah, LS 16 right. And then progress will put in Salt Lake City. Now I'm a little bit too I'm just gonna get the wind request data here. A little bit lazy, so there you go. Alright, so as far as init goes, we'll get the weight request here. We'll set the weights. Let's go to the SAM plugin and clear that. APU available, so let's hop off the external power, grab APU bleeds, grab the fuel pumps. There we go. And let's disconnect the ground power unit. Cool, cool, cool. Weights are good. Let's get the pushback truck here. So runway 25, sorry. Let's see. Runway 25. Interesting. The map for Sim Toolkit Pro went to shit. Hold on. Okay. Anyhow, it's a pushback tail right.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
So like this.
Ground to cockpit.
Yeah.
Driving up.
It's weird. Interesting. The taxi maps are kind of interesting. Because if I go to style options, interesting. There's no longer the taxi map. They remove it. I have to check.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
There's an issue with the latest update. Interesting. Anywho. Rose is a 5K mod. Completely useless. There's no use in a 5K monitor. At least with touring. Ampere, maybe, if you want like 5K 30, but complete waste in my opinion. Down 2.1. This one down 2.1. Flex.
Connected and bypass been inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright, let's go park brake off.
Starting pushback. And you may start engines.
Alright, let's go packs off. Engine start, beacon light should have been on, and let's start up engine number 2. Here we go. Okay. It looks good. I got my PC specs from Reddit, copy paste. Oof.
Along with me, we'll be on our way.
Oof, man.
Welcome aboard. Before we depart, here are some important safety instructions. First things first, let's buckle those belts. Insert the metal end into the buckle and pull the strap too tight.
Bruh. Oh, man.
And remember, seatbelts should be fastened whenever you're seated, just in case of unexpected turbulence. To get us on our way, make sure your seat is up, all electronic devices are put away, and your tray table is stowed. If you have a carry-on, push it all the way under the seat in front of you. If it won't fit, place it in the overhead bin.
That's weird how they took out the taxi charts
Device, please
in,
now. You'll find our full electronic device,
In fact, hold on. I think I'm getting a little bit of an issue here with SimToolkit Pro.
including electronic
Let me restart it up. It's acting a little bit weird.
smoke detectors in the laboratories.
Alright. Engine number 2 looks good. Let's start up engine number 1.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Here we go.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna see.
All exits on
Alright, here we go.
clearly marked. Take a moment to locate the nearest one. Keep in mind, it may be behind you.
Let's see. Can you guys... It should be fine now. I think...
What direction?
I think...
Away from the airplane.
No, not really. It still has that issue where I can't load in the taxi map. That's odd.
May also be used as a raft, except those over the wings. You'll find the exact location on your safety card. This aircraft is designed with escape lighting on or near the floor. A sign will indicate you have reached your exit. In the event of an evacuation, escape pad lighting will appear. Follow the lights until you've reached your
Alright.
exit.
We're just gonna have to freestyle it, I guess.
Safely and safely to the
Gonna have to guesstimate it.
and don't forget,
Let's go ahead, get the park brake on. These guys would, they'll get their stuff situated, don't worry about that. That should have been like that before. Let's go flight control. Alright, so we're going, down 0.2. Yeah, don't worry about the air pressure.
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right.
Sorry, down 2.1. Down 2.1. There we go. Alright, we'll go flaps 1. Mode Charlie, auto brakes max. Takeoff config. Takeoff to, flaps need to come out fully. Go to the flap page, get the cabin ready, check. Alright, takeoff config. Takeoff config is good. Park brake can't come off. Let's light these guys up a little bit. And let's go APU off as well. Beautiful, beautiful. Here we go. So, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go straight, and then let's see if I can. Alright. I have the satellite one out for now as a temporary guide. That kind of works, I guess. But, we'll see. Alright. Also, you have this little thing, you can do it like this. And if you push it off to the side. Yeah, alright, okay. We need to get the VOR constraints, airports. Well, okay, cool. So we're gonna make a left turn here as soon as possible. So straight in, and then we're gonna make a left, and that should take us straight up to 25. What clouds are we using today, homie? We're using Ultra Weather XP. That's why we're not seeing stupid anti-aliasing. We're using Ultra Weather XP. There we go. We'll take it straight in. Straight out, and then we should be there. So that looks good. All right. Oh, look at those reflections. Looks pretty good. Alright, 26 knots, we can idle off here and just roll it out. So, the game plan is to roll it on out to this end, and then should be able to take off from there. Okay, coming up here. Get ready for some togas in chat. We're about to absolutely cream this. Start the clock.
Approaching 25.
We have a altitude constraint, but other than that, nothing too much. All right.
On runway
Specs.
25.
It should get, there you go. Alright, let's go. Flex. Man, flex. Sussur's climb, runway nav. There we go. Balls. Knots, neutral. All right, V1, rotate. Got positive right gear coming up. All right. Pitch to climb. Who's Bella, lol. Alright, and 1,000 feet. Autopilot 1 coming on. There we go. I'm gonna move this up just a tad. Alright, 1,500. Level climb. Packs can't come back on. Get these guys off. And disarm the speed brakes. Beautiful. And we're gonna wait till we approach 180, and then we'll do that. All right. there's that departure. So yeah, it's 12 terabytes. Yes, I do have 12 terabytes of storage. Bella, Nick, who's Bella? Alright, cool. Alright, flaps coming up. Coming through 8,000 feet. Let's go ahead and reduce those sounds. There we go. Hot damn. Oh, something's loading and my CPU went firewalled. Okay, we're good now. We're good. GPU is sitting at 50%. Okay, cool. Let's get some Spotify. Let me find it. There we go. That's cool. Alright. Oh, there it is. Met our altitude constraint. Are you the Vatsub controller or Bella the X mod from Captain Can? I don't think Bella was ever a mod. I think I have 11 terabyte over 5 drives. I have 12 over 2 drives. Or someone completely different. I've got 18 terabyte. Her Nick was going to a glory hole. Oh man. I think that's 10,000. Man, if they can just get shadows to a better quality. Alright, let's get these guys off. And let's go to our secondary flight plan. Copy active. Go to our perf. Back climbing up. Lol, I need to. Oof. Here we go. Passing through, I think, 11,000 here. There are a couple constraints here, but for the most part, it's all good. Yeah, so we're just cruising along now. I think, yeah, we're a slow climb because we've got 2 altitude constraints. Alright, passing through 12,000 now. So the overall time this flight is it should take us, we have about an hour left total. So it's a longer flight for sure though. Look at it's got the objects in. I don't know if I think I have a VFR package. So when you're getting your bassoon out, not this stream. Not this stream. The flight is too short for us to have my bassoon out. Just a little bit too short for this route. On Friday, though, we will be doing a longer route, one very, very short route, and then a longer route. And I'll have my bassoon out for that. It's only the longer streams that I can whip it out. Otherwise, I don't really have much time. Now, one thing I wish Flight Factor went ahead and did. Okay, I'm gonna reduce the X system just a touch. Okay. One thing I wish. Can you actually see the? No, you cannot see the WinG. Okay. One thing I wish Flight Factor did is if they just added a progress report page. That's the one page that I really wish they had in the Flight Factors, the progress report page. Other than that, most of the MIC2 functions I'm pretty happy with. I know we're not going to get an ATSU, CFDs, we're not going to get the AOC function, we're not going to get those. Oh, that's cool. Whip it out loud. This is cool. Did you guys know that? Oh, I didn't even know you could do that. secondary flight plan wins, active flight plan wins, routes, co-route. I didn't even know you could runways, ident, nav aids, ident, pilot routes, store active flight plan, store secondary flight plan, save active flight plan. Let's see what happens if I click store. Look at that. You can actually, and then if you go to the data, let's say pilot routes, that is cool. That's cool. Such a neat little feature. So, back to what I was, okay, let's also go standard here. Back to what I was saying about the tollless price increase. I don't understand it. Look, tollless, if the tollless, there's a Q pack or whatever. But tollless is how they came to the 319 that we have today. It was built upon the idea, the core principle of being a community-driven aircraft. They listened to the community and they delivered a functioning aircraft. Treadwater, welcome aboard, dude. I'm doing fine. How about you? They listened to the community and they delivered a pretty good product. That's how the tollless came to be. That's how we got to know the tollless. That's why I fly the tollless. Because of it being a more community-driven thing. You know, them interacting with the community, listening to the community, and giving us what we actually want. And that lasted for a bit. that lasted for a little bit. And then they become a little bit more money hungry. In the sense of, you look at things like the 321 release was, I think, the downfall. When the 321 released for $79, I can't wait for the A340. The A340 should be fine. I'm talking about their new price increase. Their A321 was I'd say the A319 was climbing up. It was getting better. 321 came, and then that's when it sort of plateaued. And ever since then, they've been falling. The 321 has serious quality issues. The modeling has holes everywhere. The tail isn't even connected to the fuselage. The nav lights aren't even modeled properly, and numerous other issues. But the problem is that it's priced at $79. Now, if we're saying, I would argue that it's overpriced, in the sense that it's relatively overpriced. Compare the $79 to the, I think, $89 from the Flight Factor 320. So for $10 extra, there's just a $10 price difference. The only benefit the tollless has over the Flight Factor is the fact that the tollless has the IAE and CFM engine options actually, functioning and modeled correctly, which the Flight Factor doesn't yet. And you have sharklets. That's pretty much it. If you want a good A320 CFM model, you got the A320 by Flight Factor. Look, $79, you're trading off so many things for just the fact that it includes an IAE and CFM engine options, and sharklets, I guess. That trade-off is not something I'm willing to do. Now, here's another thing that I'm actually pissed about. First of all, when they released their Neo option, we were all promised that we would get. Remember, they have a Wi-Fi. Okay, I mean, sure, that too. We promised that we would get a Neo engine upgrade for free. In fact, I can probably even pull it up here. The Neo upgrade will be free. Let me see. I can probably pull it up if I search hard. Let's go from Neo. Okay. Well, if Discord wasn't being Discord, I could probably find it up, but they promised a free Neo upgrade down the line. Now what happens? They got a new upgrade fee for their A319. And for what? Slight tweaks, I guess. A little upgrade on, you know, some systems, so a little bit more system depth and a little bit better modeling and a little bit more sounds. That to me is horrible because they're capitalizing in terms of economic value off of what the community wants. So what they got to their place in the first place because of us, because they actually listened to us and how we said we wanted a proper flight model, proper this, proper that. And now it's like a backstab. They're doing that, but when they actually, you know, address the issues we've been saying for so long, it's a monetary upgrade. Which just it blows my mind. I don't understand how you can do that. And then for the sounds apparently, I don't have the 319, but apparently the 319 TSS sounds are still not comparable to BSS. So it's a $10 upgrade. That makes it $79, which is insane. Now, the 321 is already $79. If I have to pay an upgrade fee of anything bigger than $5, I'm not getting it. It's absurd. They're not what they used to be. TOLUS is no longer the TOLUS that we knew. It's rather a watered down flight factor. Engines are the same, only I noticed blower fans and APU was different. Yeah. So, like I said, TOLUS is no longer TOLUS, but a watered down flight factor. Charging for an upgrade that's this small is horrible. I can't fathom. Like, if you told me that 1 year from now, TOLUS would do something like this, I wouldn't believe you. I think that's something Flight Factor would do. But no, it's really sad. So now, again, the one thing I do wish I'm not gonna say that the 320 is a perfect aircraft, because there's lots of things the 320 could use. Some make-do functions are missed in here that the TOLUS has, and vice versa. But one of the biggest issues I have with the 320's performance in Vulcan is a little bit iffy. Like right now, I'm getting about 44 FPS, 45 FPS, which isn't bad. It's just, you know, I'd rather have like maybe 5 FPS would be nice. Something like, you know, just something a little bit, you know. But, yeah. They added a feature where you can age your plane, make the airframe and engines older so they perform less efficient. That's gimmicky. That's just really a gimmicky option. See, like, look. EFB, the addition of a FAP page. You now can, like, Flight Factor could easily split into, you can now adjust the lighting in your tablet. You can now see the water quantity and waste quantity. You can check the audio volumes for the cabin, the doors and slides, and the cabin status. And that's now included in a $10 upgrade. People would lose their minds. So something that's like gimmicky shouldn't be a monetary upgrade. In fact, I think if you're gonna do gimmicks, just add a bunch of like gimmicks. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Anywho, look at these clouds. That's a pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. That looks pretty good. Oof. Yeah, wow. Alexi, or Alexi, how am I doing on your pronunciation? Welcome aboard, dude. Okay, Moy. Okay. fly to Finland? Alright, well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. We're gonna fly to Finland. In Microsoft Flight Simulator. The English version of my name is Alex. Ah, Alex. That's fairly easy to pronounce. Welcome aboard, Alex, or okay, Moy, or whatever you go by. Look at this, something Microsoft will never have. And that is sharp ortho at a higher altitude. Look how crisp this looks compared to like Microsoft. Really good at a high altitude. Oh man. Hello, me is sad. I need to go to bed soon. No. Oh man. Well, thank you for dropping by though. Thanks for dropping by. You'll upset Brad. Shh. Sorry, no, Nick. It's Bradicus. Remember, Bradicus, not Brad. I don't know I don't know who a Brad is, but if you're talking about Bradicus, I know who Bradicus is. Bradicus, tough cookie, man. That guy, real pain in the ass. Well, 2 hours from now, and it's sad. Oh man. Oof. Much better than anything Microsoft Flight Simulator could produce. I'll put it that way. As far as the ortho goes, at this altitude, yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, the fact is we at least have trees. You don't see trees at a high altitude in Microsoft. I'm actually surprised that it's not there. But all right, got it, Alex. Got it. Sounds cool, dude. All right. Contrails are okay, look at the moon. Oof, I need to get the 4K moon upgrade. I don't even have it installed. Although I don't have school, I need to go in routine. Alright, cool, dude. Really kind of a bit of a bummer, but you know, things are like that sometimes. Oh, this sucks. I haven't touched Microsoft since it was 100%. That's odd. Microsoft uses about 37% of my CPU. Yeah, 37% of my CPU. Xplane uses about 20% of my CPU. No, Xplane uses about 11% of my CPU, and Microsoft Flight Simulator uses 30, 35, 40%. So Xplane uses 10%, and Microsoft uses about 40%. And I actually have it that way. I'd prefer it that way because Xplane barely uses any CPU. That's one complaint I do have. Xplane's optimization is shit. Even with Vulkan, it doesn't use the CPUs the way it should. I should say while using Orbex. Okay, that could be it, maybe? I don't have Orbex London. But when I was flying through New York, it was around the 40s to 50s. So he's got a i7-8700K, which is a hexacore CPU, I believe. I have the 10700K, which is an octa-core CPU. It's basically the 9900K, but much more efficient, and isn't doesn't consume as much heat. Okay, this is another thing Xplane really needs to fix, is clouds blending in with terrain. That's something Xplane needs to address. Clouds look iffy. This is with ultraweather, and I think ultraweather does the best job of capturing clouds without that, like... I think ultraweather actually nailed it as far as the looks go, but flying in and out through the clouds is the volumetric clouds. I think Xamara takes the cake. I have a Ryzen 520, 6-core, 2600. Is that a good CPU? FS120 uses like 30 or... So, yeah. 2600, I wouldn't really recommend it if you're like building a PC now. I wouldn't recommend the 2600, but if you already have the 2600, it can run the Microsoft Flight Simulator on like medium settings pretty well, I guess. No, Xvision, you still have the rotating cloud effect. It's not as good as Ultra Weather, as far as like immersion goes. In some cases, I would say Xvision does look better than Ultra Weather. Like when it's scattered, when you have scattered clouds, like in this part right here, it's better with like the Vesley's preset. But like this section right here, I think is depicted really well in Ultra Weather. So yeah, not as good as Microsoft's clouds, but they're not bad either. So it's just the default ones are a little bit. I guess so, although I don't pay Xplane more, so I want to spend money on. Man, oof. Alright, so let's take a look here. Okay, we're at our cruising altitude. Goddamn. Like FS, here I'll read your message in a second here. How far away from our top descent? We're like 100 nautical miles out. So not too bad, I guess. Like FS 2020, I don't want to spend money on it because it's already amazing, but Xplane, however, I do want to spend money on. Celia, will you still spend money on Xplane or not? No. I'm not spending any more. I'm not spending any more. I'm not spending more money on Xplane. But I will be spending on the new Airsoft CRJ. I'm hoping to get maybe an i7-10700K this year, but most likely I'll need a new case and then get a 240 and a new motherboard, Nick. You can't use a Z390 motherboard with the 10700K. With the 10700K, you need the new LGA 1200. So you have to buy a new motherboard in addition to your, if you're already, whatever you're already upgrading from. Vixen, I think, right? Yeah, Vixen. Welcome aboard, dude. Glad you could join us. We're actually doing one leg today. And then we're doing another leg on Friday. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be doing on Twitch. For fuck's sake, skip that, lol. Nick, I hope you know, there's no other upgrade option for Coffee Lake. And Coffee Lake, the Coffee Lake refresh, is it backward? I think it's backwards compatible, but yeah. Who needs a new motherboard? Just get a new CPU and graphics card without any new motherboard. You can't. No. You need an LGA 1200 motherboard for the Comet. You need an LGA 1200 motherboard for Comet Lake because the LGA or land grid array is different. It's 1200 pins, not 1158. So the fact that the actual grid array is different means you need a new motherboard. You can't just toss in a 1158 chip in the 1200 or vice versa. I'll probably stay in Xplane and buy add-ons for it. Not interested in buying an add-on for something like $150. I mean, I'm not gonna, like, here's another thing with that. I'm only gonna be getting the airplanes that, like, look, I'll only be getting base aircrafts, like for a PMDG, right? I'm only gonna get their base 737 pack, and that's assuming if I want the 737 pack. If Flight Sim Labs can get their A320 out by next year, not by the end of next year, I'll absolutely wait for the A320 instead of getting the 737. Why? Because we have the Zebo here, the Threshold next generation, whatever they call their 737s are coming out. With that and Xplane, I don't need to buy a $150 737. I'll only be getting a 777 and an A320, and that's pretty much it. H700 H711 case, 200 pound new Movo, 250 new pound new PSU, 100 pound new CPU, 400 pound new. What GP do you have? It should be in my specs, right? I don't have that in my specs. I have the ROG Strix RTX 2080. I think it's the gaming model. I should probably put that in. I didn't notice that. I didn't put it in the bot thing. Let me do that real quick. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Nice, yeah. Let's see. I want to make sure that this is still. Okay. Is it shit? Okay, that's good. That's cool. Let's go to my stream elements. Let me add that to my bot. Let me log in. Okay. No need for new stuff, just get the newest stuff. Your computer will only last 2 days. Oh man. Ampere is really nice though. Ampere is got some nice stuff. Okay. I should have my, there we go. Okay, chat commands, okay. Where is it? Specs. Should have, there it is. Okay, let me edit this one. I'll put it in right after my RAM, so ROG Strix RTX 2080. I don't know if it's the gaming or they have multiple like specific ones in that. I'm just gonna call it just the Strix 2080, and let's just save that. Okay, so now if you put an exclamation mark specs, it should pop up correctly. So there we go. How far are we from top of descent? We're about 49 out. So just under 50. Let's go ahead and put in our approach stuff. Do that, shall we? 330 at 6 knots. All right, temperature 19 degrees. QNH 3022. Decision height for runway 34 left is 102 on the radio altimeter, so 102, and that's good for 40 out. Still have some ways to go. What was I checking? Oh, I was checking this. Alright, cool. Is your PC... Did you just say 49? I don't know. What did I say? Did I say... I said 49 nautical miles, right? Not hours. Is your PC a pre-built or custom? I originally built this in 2018, I want to say. 2018, I think. Yeah, 2018. I built it in 2018. Factory A320 looks so good with FPS. Yeah, the FPS right now I'm getting is 45 FPS. Yeah, so I built it in 2018 with the only difference is I had 16 gigs of RAM. The same HGTZDR, I think is the exact one. The same, the same Trident Z RAM, just 16 gigs of it. Now at that time, in 2018, it released with a Hynix AFR die, and they re-released it with Samsung B die in 2019 or 2019, I believe. Yeah, in 2019, late 2019, early 2020 is when they shipped it out with Samsung B die. And difference was in 2018, I had a Ryzen 7 2700X. 16 gigs of RAM, and everything else was and only the 3 terabyte hard drive. Everything else was pretty much the same. And then in 2019, I upgraded the 2700X to a 3700X, threw in the new hard drive, and then in 2020, this year during summer, I swapped out my old motherboard, CPU, and I tossed in the new Strix Z490-F and the 10700K, and then I upgraded my RAM from 16 gigs to 32 gigs, and I think that's pretty much all I did. And I give it a little dust. Oh, and I reinstalled the Windows and whatnot. But so actually because it originally shipped with Hynix AFR, and then it later shipped a couple years later with Samsung B die. 2 of my sticks are Samsung B die, and 2 of my sticks are Hynix AFR. So it's a bit frustrating. Well, not frustrating. It's a bit sad because 2 of my sticks can overclock much better than the other 2. Tighter timings and whatnot. But I mean, you can only do so much, right? I know what the thing is. I specifically, it's like when you order from Newegg, a vendor. You'll have the transaction receipt, even if it goes back 2 or 3 years. So I went to the transaction receipt, clicked on the exact model. I mean, I made sure it was the exact same, 16 GTZD, whatever the digits were. Exact same kit. It's just they now ship with a different die, which is fine because it's fine because the dock or the XMP profile is still the same. So it's running XMP on the RAM, so the XMP profile still checks out. It's just that 2 of them are B die and 2 of them are AFR. So that's pretty much it. How much worse do you get in the 320 versus the Tolus? In the Tolus, I get like 25 frames per second, 25 frames better. Maybe more, 20, 30? Yeah, 25, I think. 25, sometimes 30. Is this the Kraken X60? Yes, the Kraken X62 is a CPU cooler. It's this one right here, the AIO. Yeah. Now, the thing is, when you're installing an AIO, you want to make sure that the tubes are facing down. You want the tubes facing down. And I didn't know of this until Gamers Nexus. Steve made his video about orientation and water and the water bubbles and all. Because I've been running it with the tubes to the side for so long, and so many people actually have this. So many people run their tubes on the side and then they mount it upwards. If you have a case like this where intake and then exhaust coming up that way. Because it's in a pull configuration. The fans are right here, and it's pulling the air out there. But what's even worse is the actual people on NZXT, they actually showcase, like in all their promo pictures, it's installed with the tubes facing to the side, when in reality the tubes should be facing down. But so many people, you search up right now, NZXT, Kraken, whatever, and you'll go through the pictures. Every single one of them has tubes facing the side, which is, yeah. I've seen so many now incorrectly installed cooler tubes. Yeah, you want the tubes facing down, but I'm too lazy to open it back up and face it downwards. At least not now. I do a daily cleanup every 6 months or so. Not daily. I do a bi-yearly checkup. Every 6 months or so. I open up my case, take out the old compressed air, give it a little dust off the parts, and I'll if I need to, I'd reapply thermal paste. I reapply thermal paste every 1 to 1.5 years. Well, actually, technically every 1 year, because I upgraded my CPU 3 times since I bought 2 times since I bought it, 3 times in total. But this thermal paste should last. I think people say it'll last on one application, 1.5 to 2 years, around about. But the thermal grizzly one, I think it's Cryonaut. So I really like the Cryonaut. It's probably one of the best thermal pastes I've used, is the Cryonaut one. I still have a stock CPU cooler. Seems to be working okay for now. So when you're talking about a stock CPU cooler, it depends A, which CPU you're using, and B, because of the difference in the CPU cooler, what stock CPU cooler that is. So if you're using an Intel, the stock CPU cooler is their little shitty thing that they haven't upgraded in forever. AMD, they have different coolers per each CPU. And another thing is the higher end chips don't come with the stock cooler, which makes sense. I mean, if you're paying $400-$500 for a per CPU, you definitely want to cool it with an aftermarket CPU cooler. So it depends. Now the Ryzen 5 3600, I'd say you can rock that with the stock cooler. But if you're doing anything like a 3700X, especially the 3700X or higher, you want to use an aftermarket CPU as far as CPU cooler, as far as the Matisse goes. Matisse runs hot, and understandably so. You're running it on a 7nm node, so yeah. I have an i7, keeps it around 50 to 60 when running Xplane. Okay, what i7 do you have that shipped with the stock cooler? The 10700K did not ship with the stock cooler. The 9700K, I don't think that shipped with the cooler. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember. But 50 to 60 is all right. My temperature right now is 52 degrees, 50 to 54. And this is with a 5.1 gigahertz overclock. Really, it's a 5 gigahertz overclock, but 4 cores can boost to 5.1 gigahertz. But most of it stays at a 5 gigahertz constant. 9700F. Oh, okay, that makes more sense, because yeah, I guess that makes sense. Now, that was Coffee Lake Refresh. It's a locked processor. The thing is, I just never fancied Coffee Lake Refresh. It was, especially on the 9900K. 9900K is such a horrible chip, because first of all, you're looking at their solder. Their IHS to die solder was so shoddy in how it was done. The die was so thick, and with the not Comet Lake addressed those issues with Coffee Lake refresh, that a lot of people had to delid the 9900K and then sand it down a little bit. Now with Comet Lake, which is what I have, Comet Lake naturally, when they factory shipped with addressing the IHS die solder issue. So the IHS is is a little bit thicker, and the IHS is a bit thicker, and the die is a little bit thinner. It's a lot thinner with the Comet Lake chips, which is why they've performed much better as far as thermals are concerned. And then you add on the fact that it was even more refined of a node. That's why Comet Lake is really good, and it's the 10700K is cheaper than the 9900K, and the 10600K with better RAM can compete with the 9900K. So, yeah. Is the 2070 Super any good? Well, I have the 2080 and the 2070 Super. They're basically on par. They're basically on par with each other. It's a really good card, really good GPU. The only thing is, it doesn't make much sense to buy one now with Ampere. The 3070 is, I think, $500, and it's a little bit faster than the 2080 Ti. So it doesn't make any sense to buy 2070 Super as of right now. If you already have it, it's a great card, but if you're looking to buy it, I'd suggest you wait. So yeah, okay. So, but another thing is, I'm pretty sure you need the the 12. Is it the 12 pin? If they have the new 12 pin, confirms 12 pin included adapter, power adapter. Well, I just check your PSU. Make sure your PSU is pretty good. Now, mine is actually, hold on. I'm trying to find it. Where'd it go? Because although mine is made by EVGA, their whole series was based off of, I'm trying to find the Super Flower. There we go. The LeadX Super Flower LeadX Gold. Yeah, LeadX Gold thing. Yeah. So I have the EVGA 1000 watt 80 plus gold fully modular G3 power supply. And that's actually based off of the Super Flower LeadX power supplies. That's literally what EVGA's one is. It's literally the LeadX one, but EVGA. So, the only thing I would say is, if you're using the EVGA G3 ones, they're pretty decent power supplies, but just don't overload it. Like, if you have 1000 watts, make sure your components aren't going to draw like 950 watts, because a lot of the thermal and power limits on that power supplies isn't the best if you're almost maxing out the power supply, which is why I got the 1000 watt. And the 1000 watt one was on sale. So that's why I chose it. It was on sale, a good deal, and I'm like, I'm not really going to use 1000 watts, anytime in the near future, so. 3022. God damn it. Come on. There we go. But other than that, it's a pretty good power supply. It's not like what the fuck, we literally just set our altimeters and the XRAS is going that, but there you go. Yeah, okay. I have it now. I got it on sale for $490. That's actually pretty good. That's actually really good. the 2070 Super is more of a slap in the face to people that already own the 2080. Because here's a predicament I was in. I built my PC when when Turing was just announced, and the 1080 Ti got discontinued by Nvidia. So I was like, I need a 1080 Ti equivalent card. And I'm like, if I want that VRAM amount, I'm gonna have to get a 2080 Ti, but I'm not gonna spend $1,200 on a GPU. And then there's the 2080. It was the only other option. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get the 2080. And then the 2070 Super comes in along a year later, comes in for $500, and it's like, okay, Nvidia. Gonna see the 3070 deal for Christmas because supply and demand, and I'll pick all my parts out here. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's not like all of it suddenly goes on sale during Christmas time, but usually around this time of deal. Hello, I'm back. Welcome back, dude. Welcome back. Okay, so our airport is just in the distance. Just in the distance. Coming out at 14,000 feet. So we'll get the seatbelt sign on now. Man, I really love the flight factor. I just come back to this aircraft more and more. I just love it. I'm waiting till Black Friday Tech Monday to get a Kraken M22. Don't get the M22, Nick. Don't get the M22. That's the 120 mil, right? Kraken M22. That's the one. Don't get it. Don't get it. With an 8700K, I wouldn't recommend it. The I would recommend. Yeah, M22 is. I don't know. I'd advise you to stay away from the M22. So this guy did his test, right, and he got a 45.8 decibels compared to the. But yeah, still, it's pretty. I wouldn't recommend it. I'd say go with air cooler unless you were willing to spend a little bit more on a larger rad. Yes, all I got space for. You can't rock like a DH15, a Noctua DH15. Must be okay. Well, it's better than the Master 120, but is it? Can you fit a DH15, a Noctua DH15 in your case? Because if you can't, well, that's going to be a bit of a rip. All right, let's get the. Is that? What is that called? I don't know what it's. I don't know the exact terminology for the LS button. I don't know exactly what it's called, but yeah, I'd recommend medium as well. I'm gonna say no. You've seen how small my case is. What case do you have though, Nick? Like, what's your exact case? Because if you can give me your case model number, I can probably find a good cooler that would fit in. Or because I can guarantee you'd find a good one. Because I with an 8700K, I'd just stay away with the M22 personally. But that's just me. So, all right, we're coming up to 10,000 here. Let's get these guys on. Let's go. Stop that. Let's bring the volume back up. There we go.
The seatbelt sign is on. Please be seated and fasten your seatbelts. To prepare for landing.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and arm the Loke.
Carry on rings. Place your seat in the original upright position.
All right, so I'm gonna bring this down to 220 just so we can get a little head start here on the DXL, and then we'll see where it takes us from there. Pretend like that never happened. Pretend like that never happened. Okay, here we go.
seat.
compared to Zebo or Trollus, let's say. What about... Oh, to the Zebo, I get about 5 to 7 FPS worse. Compared to the Trollus, about 25-30. Or sorry, 20 to 25 in the Trollus. And then about the differences from the flight factor to the Zebo, about 5 to 7. Sent the DM, link to big for YouTube, okay. Oh, link too big for YouTube. Alright, we should, yes we have, let's put this in here. We'll go flaps 1. There we go. The Cooler Master. Gunmetal. Okay. 4 120mm fans and front and rear water cooling. You can fit in a good dude, you can fit in a good cooler. What do you mean? Here, I'll DM you a good cooler that you can fit with that after stream. I think we're a little bit low on the glide slope. Yes, we are. A little bit low. So, hold on, I can actually probably pull it up right now. It's the, what the fuck was it? What was it called? M600L. Alright, M600L. Use a case. M600L. Okay, well there's the P, and then there's the L. You should be able to fit ATX Micro TX Mini ATX 120 specifications. Okay. Okay, glide slope captured. Good. Missed approach. We're gonna put in 5,000. Cool. We'll go gear down. Flaps config 2. There we go. Fans. 2 120mm. You can get a 280mm, dude. You can put in a 280 rad in there. I just checked the specifications. You can do 2 120s or 2 140s. So you can fit it in. Just put it in through the front. Put it in through the front. Alright, landing rates in. Flaps config 3. And Wire aircraft. Howdy friends, welcome aboard Mopar. Glad you could join us. Right. We're on our final approach here. Coming in. Negative 21, 31, 12, 199. Alright, we'll see. Hey Mopar. Another, I have a little bit of work to do after, but we'll be flying again on Friday for 2 legs on Friday, so all for you guys. Alright, let's see. Just a slight crosswind here, about 8 knots. So here we go. And alright, cool. Let's pitch down just to 3 degrees here.
Approaching 3, 4 left.
There we go. This should be good.
400.
Oscillating a little bit, land green. The one thing though is the fly-by-wire is dog shit on the flight factor. It's my only complaint, but other than that, it's not too bad. Alright.
Minimum 100.
Landing.
50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. Retard 5.
Okay, not bad. A little bit firm. Alright, reversers out. A little bit firm, but... Alright, 70 knots, 60 knots. I got hot brakes. 320, 310, alright. Alright, let's cycle these guys. Let's bring these guys down. And start up that APU master switch. And stop the chrono. Alright, so let's take a look here. Alright, let's make the left turn here. Okay, so we're gonna wait for a minute after we see here. It's about 58:35. 58:35. So 58:35, 58 and 63. It's about 5 on there, so we're looking at 64, close to 65. Okay. I'll just clear that message for now. And APU flap is open, so let's start up the APU. Alright. That was okay. Yeah, that was pretty okay. Looked like a normal landing to me. Yep, that was a pretty normal landing. That was... Ooh. That was a bit hard, actually. A little bit hard. Oh man. First Officer Canada, hello. Welcome aboard, First Officer Canada. Welcome aboard. Cycle the flight directors. Yeah, that was a little bit... a little bit on the rougher side. What did landing rate say? Sim Toolkit Pro said negative 318 FPM. That's fine. I don't really care about the feet per minute. It's just the G-force that was a little bit. It was 1.4 Gs, so a little bit. Yeah. So, all right. Let's see where they park. Here parks at gate G2. Alright, we're gonna take it all the way out to G gates. That's a long taxi from here. Cause D gates, C gates, G, F. Yeah. Alright. APU is available as well. Alright. Looks pretty decent. That SPS looks like a I have no clue. Oh, look, our brakes are already at 290. Cool. Alright, so let's see. These are D gates. These are C gates. I think it's either F or G gates. It should be F, I believe. Let's see what's on the right. Are these G's? No, these are C's, F's, F's. Oh, there's G's all the way over there. All right, cool. It's gonna be a long taxi out. All right. Alright, so the G's are all the way past there. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense, but what can you do, right? So, takeoff to landing 5835. I didn't start this at gate to gate. We're just gonna say 110 and 67 as far as that's concerned, so that's fine. There's their G4. I think G4 is that one. Yes, let's go. Nose light off. And let's bring it in. Alright, let's reduce our speed down to just under 10 knots. Should be able to just glide it in. A little bit off center here. Am I? Interesting. Alright. And yellow. Oh, got a little bit left. And red. Cool. Yeah, that's interesting because if you look right here, two lines, but then here there's only one line, and then here there's only one line. I don't know what that is. I know some of them has like an A and a B, like see F8 to F10, and those all line up like that. I don't know if it has to do with that or not, but nonetheless, engine number 2, engine number 1, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Salt Lake City. There we go. These guys can't come off as well. Cool, so all we're looking for now is for that engine number 2 to come off, and then we'll get the AP bleed, and then that'll be it. Not a bad flight at all. Let's see, N1, EGT is still at 300, N2's coming down. Okay. We'll go ahead and connect the gates. There we go. Frontier. There's the gates. Oh, there's a PTU barking away. Alright, so head back to the pit. And okay, I don't have all day, so I'll just get the people lead on now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Salt Lake City. And the penguins, as you guys asked, so there we go. Let's complete the flight. There we go. Alright, so let's hop back into the cockpit. Let's clear up these guys. Reset that. Clear that up. Okay. Let's, I got the replay mode. Let's get replay over here. And let's go replay song. Let's back it up to here. There we go. Alright, let's go tower view. Alright, there we go. Pretty nice. A little bit of tree pop-ins, but other than that, looks pretty good. Yeah, the sounds are a bit interesting. Yeah, okay, that was a little bit firm, but centerline was okay. And where we got it in the zone was alright as well. Again, the fly-by-wire model, the fly-by-wire is interesting on this one. So there's the markers. And you can see we hit it one, I think that's, I forgot the length between it. Let's see, 500, right? 500,000. Yeah, okay, I think right about 500 feet from the from the landing zone. I can actually probably look at the landing port for that and see exactly how far we were. Alright, so centerline deviation, we were 6.21 left of centerline, and threshold distance was 1300, which means we were just around 300 feet away from the touchdown markers. So not bad at all. Oof, yes, Xplane. Yeah. Alright, let's take a look at it from here, from the fence view. If I can, there we go, fence view. Yeah, I mean, a little bit firm, but not like back-breaking or anything. Alright, let's go shift 3. There we go. Like that. Okay, cool. Ooh, yeah, I mean, a little bit firm. Again, we're about, I think it was six feet away from center line, 6 feet on the center line deviation, so a little bit off center line there. Winds were meh, about 8 knots. Again, 6 feet away from the center line deviation. Winds were, I think, coming in 8 knots from our left, I believe. I might have to rewatch that, because I don't think we can get, hold on. Winds are, what are the winds? 290 at 8, and we were landing at runway 290 at 8, 234. So yeah, a slight wind from the left, which isn't too bad. I mean, I'll take it. It's a pretty decent landing. I'll take a look at it from this angle. Not bad. Okay, of course the sounds are a bit bugged, but let's take a look at it from here. Man, if they just had better autogen, like trees actually placed correctly, and this is with the Orbex tree add-on too, but oof. We're looking at a really good sim. Alright, let's see. Yeah, a little bit firm there, for sure. Of course, the sounds are bugged because Flight Factor's doing Flight Factorness, but I'll take that. That's a pretty decent landing. Anywho, thank you guys so much for dropping by, saying hi. There's a city back in the background there. Yeah, thank you guys so much for dropping by, saying hi. I'll catch you guys on Friday, and take care.